Zombies in China, real or fake?
Our chosen video shows a clear example of disinformation.
I'm sorry, what is happening in China? Apparently in China, there's a zombie apocalypse. Yeah, a flipping zombie apocalypse. Also, it's China, so they'd probably keep it a secret too. This basically all started because people were saying that China would be the most common place for a zombie apocalypse to break out. Which, I mean, fair enough, it is quite believable. And you've got all the people who've watched The Walking Dead thinking that they're ready and are gonna survive it. And now, people are saying that there's a zombie apocalypse happening in China right now. But we need to calm down a minute, because it probably isn't real. It's pretty mixed. Some people are scared, but some are actually pretty excited. It's so unlikely that there's a zombie apocalypse happening in China right now, but you never know. But I mean, hit that follow button and I'll keep you updated.
I'm sorry, what's happening in China? Not a zombie apocalypse, that's for sure. This video with nearly 10 million views, along with many other videos, have gone absolutely viral talking about the zombie apocalypse in China. But where did such an absurd trend come from? The origins of this zombie apocalypse trend are relatively unknown. However, some point towards an article from the media brand We Are the Mighty. The article claims that a zombie apocalypse would most likely begin in China. And now, if this were to happen, the Chinese government as well as its citizens would most definitely suppress news spreading about the outbreak. The article explains that the Chinese government would weaponize the virus and use the vaccine as a form of leverage. Overall, the article seems to be just a China antagonizing clickbait headline. However, it also serves as a good standpoint of where this idea of a zombie apocalypse may have started, as well as a frame of reference for the general public's opinion of China, especially as the world was in the midst of recovering from the COVID-19 pandemic. Speaking of which, the time frame of this zombie apocalypse scare lines up with the world's recovery period from the COVID-19 pandemic. As social media users feared the rise of a new pandemic, this zombie apocalypse trend grew from a small clickbait article to a massive viral craze that garnered millions upon millions of views. This zombie apocalypse craze seems like just another meaningless social media trend, because realistically enough, most rational people are aware enough to be able to discern these absurd social media stories from the truth. However, accounts like these specifically target ignorant people, spreading disinformation simply to gain more views. From absurd claims of a zombie apocalypse to false media advice that could possibly kill a person, these accounts, along with the disinformation they spread, have a real-world impact on millions of people around the world. Sharing news is as easy as clicking a button, but making sure it's factual, it's much more challenging. And that's why people don't. But that exact ignorance is what causes these videos to spread like wildfire, causing more and more people to believe it and repeat that same cycle. That's why it's important to fact check the things we see on the internet before we believe it. Checking credible sources, not accepting information at face value, and using critical thinking skills are all fundamental to ensuring that you stay informed and able to discern false information from that factual information. Using conjunctions help because they connect ideas so that the message is easier to understand. They also make it clear when you're correcting wrong information by showing how one idea is different or more accurate than another.
Conjunction helps clarify truth and correct misinformation because they connect facts and show contrast, making it easy to see what's true and what's false.
Conjunctions can help the reader understand the connection between two phrases. An understanding between the reader and the author can lead to the avoidance of miscommunication and the abundance of clarity.
Since conjunctions connect ideas, they can determine the relationship between them, as they show similarities, differences, contradictions, and cause and effect. Because of this, it will clarify the connection between the ideas stated and thus avoid unnecessary confusion. Additionally, conjunctions will further help in making the overall transitions of ideas smoother and uniform.
Using conjunctions can help the audience understand what the speaker is trying to say while avoiding confusion. Conjunctions can also help us understand whether two sentences are supposed to happen because one thing happened and then another, like a cause and effect situation, or if two things are supposed to be put together without any contradictions.
Conjunctions can help stress or draw attention to your point, which can lessen confusion and ambiguity. They can also emphasize contrast, which can help correct misconceptions and false information. Furthermore, they can also provide explanations and show the reasoning behind a claim, which can help your audience understand the truth.